All of you are from anthropology option only?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll give my brief summary about my journey, and then we'll start the Q&A session. So I started giving attempts in 2019. This was my 5th attempt. In every attempt, some kind of tragedies happened with me regarding various papers. Sometimes essay flunked, sometimes GS paper. एंथ्रोपोलॉजी में भी प्रॉब्लम होता था, और इस बार सब ठीक हो गया है और 862 रैंक आया है. आई थिंक मैनी ऑफ यू माइट नॉट बी अंडरस्टैंडिंग हिंदी, so I'll talk in English only. So this was my journey. One thing which I would like to tell you, that I cleared prelims in every attempt. So that was the major plus point about my journey, I would say. And why was that? Because I focused on less resources. I read same books many times. You must be knowing these things. In the times of e-learning, I think there is nothing much to tell you about how to strategize things. So you guys already have good strategies. Vishnu sir also gives a lot of strategies.
Tell your strategy.
Okay. My strategy was one subject per book. One book per subject, sorry, and revising it multiple times. For prelims, give at least 35 to 40 mocks just 1 month before the exam. So that played a key role. And nowadays CSAT is more important. If you see 2023 cutoff, only 75 marks are required in GS. So I think with decent study you can get 80-85 marks in GS. Give almost 40% of time to CSAT. If you are appearing for prelims this year, 2 months prior to prelims, start working on CSAT. Work also on English comprehension. Don't just sit or don't just have that thing that I will do maths and get selected. So that is not going to happen. Have command over English also. That was my strategy regarding prelims. Regarding mains, in the syllabus, for every keyword or every word in the syllabus, you should have at least 1 to 1.5 pages of notes, your own handmade notes, and you have to revise them at least 3 to 4 times before the exam. And read less, write as much as possible, because if you have lot of knowledge, you will suffer in writing in less time. In this exam, you need to write in less time as possible. So read less, write more. And Vishnu sir was telling that some of the students are disheartened because they got less marks in anthropology, around 210 or 220. So I would say that don't get disheartened. This exam is very unpredictable. Last year I got 115 marks in GS1 mains. This time I have got 85. So 30 marks I have received less. Still I made it to the list. So don't get disheartened by less marks in any paper. You are going to have 1 or 2 papers every year where you will suffer. And one more thing, whatever material you have received from sir, have 100% trust on it. I have used it. I was a student of test series in 2023. Whatever material sir has given, I have got almost every question covered through that material. Actually, I missed 20 marks questions in this year's mains anthropology paper. When I came back home, I searched for the answers of those questions, and they were present in sir's material. So don't take that material lightly. You have the confidence in Vishnu sir's material. Use it, revise it multiple times. You will definitely see the difference in your marks. And one more thing, be humble about your knowledge. In this exam, as time goes on, we keep on reading new things. We keep on feeling that now I know everything. But there is a quote that you come nearest to the great when you are great in humility. So be humble about your knowledge. Have that hunger for knowledge. Keep seeking knowledge. Keep seeking guidance of mentors. If you clear one stage of exam, you feel that I don't need anyone now. But I'll tell you that even after clearing the exam, you will need mentors. because they know much more ahead of time. So that was the entire thing, I would say. Now you can ask me some questions and we can end up the session. Sorry, I didn't get the question.
How much time you spend for reading, writing?
Okay, my day was divided into three halves, three sections of 4 hour each. 4 hours studying, then 1 hour rest, 4 hours studying, 1 hour rest. So, and I think you should give different times for prelims and mains. Don't mix up that thing. Yes, because both exams require different aptitude. For prelims, you need knowledge, facts. For mains, you need analytical skills. So don't mix up the preparation. During prelims, I think you should give 3 months of dedicated time to prelims. So 3 months prior to prelims, you should stop studying for mains. And during a day, you can divide. I think you should at least study for 12 hours. 4 hours के 3 sections कर लो और divide कर लो. जो subject difficult लगता है वो सुबह के टाइम में रखो, क्योंकि नींद नहीं आती है. फिर दोपहर में, रात में रखेंगे तो जल्दी नींद आ जाती है. तो पर्सनल प्रेफरेंसेस हो सकते हैं, देयर कैन बी पर्सनल प्रेफरेंसेस, बट यू कैन प्लान अकॉर्डिंगली. सो आई थिंक देयर आर नो मोर क्वेश्चंस. Whatever I have told, you guys have understood it. CSAT, actually I will be very frank here, I did not study for CSAT for a single day. I have only put confidence in my English comprehension. My English comprehension was good. For CSAT, actually you need to solve only 40 questions out of 80 to get a decent score. You should not try to solve more than 40 questions, because it takes time, and when it takes time, your accuracy reduces. So keep the aim of solving only 40 questions, and of that try to solve more than 20 questions of English comprehension. Around 25 you should solve about English comprehension, because mathematics and other reasoning and quantitative aptitude requires a lot of syllabus to be studied. The types of questions also keeps changing, but English comprehension questions types doesn't change. It will come every year. So that was the first thing I was telling. Try to have confidence in English comprehension, and that will make you clear it with static. Firstly, I would say when you begin, are you all guys beginners, or have you given attempts earlier also? Yes. Okay. So develop a habit of reading at least one national newspaper. So that way you will be able to link static with current, because the magazines which come, the ready-made monthly magazines, you will not be able to link it through the static syllabus. When you read the newspaper, you will be able to link with the subject as well as the which area of this subject the news is linked to. So firstly, when we begin, start reading the NCERTs, after that reference book. After you complete the NCERTs and reference books, then while reading the newspaper, you will be easily able to link it. And daily keep making notes through editorials. Extract 4 to 5 points. You will be able to know from which point of syllabus this editorial has come. So write the heading of the syllabus and write those 4-5 good points from that editorial. This practice will help you immensely in mains, because the way in which people prepare for mains, everyone is using same material. So if you have 2-3 points extra which you have extracted from the newspaper, you can certainly have that margin of 1 mark per question, and that boils down to almost 70 to 80 marks in the entire exam. 70 to 80 marks is a very huge margin to have. If you have 70 to 80 marks margin, you will have a different service, different cadre, everything changes. You may be out of the list also due to 80 marks. Newspaper is the best source for reading comprehension. Read editorials from The Hindu or Indian Express. Your comprehension will definitely improve. I have not read any book, so I am not able to tell any book. I used to read newspaper only. Interview experience. So sir was telling that I am a very humble person. That was not the case few years back. When I gave my first interview, I received 143 marks. Then I came to sir, and he took a 1-to-1 session, and he told me that while you are talking no, there is lack of humility, so you will not get marks. So I really worked upon that, and this year I have got 179 marks, so a jump of around 36 marks. It is a decent score. 180 is a decent score in interview. Interview actually takes it is known as a personality test. You guys know that it is not a test of knowledge, it is a test of personality, that is how grounded you are you able to take decisions with a logical backing, and are you able to stand up to your decision. So many decision making questions will be asked in interview, so you must be 100% sure that why I am taking this decision, and after taking this decision I will stand by my decision. That is very important. That is the key to get a good score in interview, I think. Yes, for example, I belong to a temple town in Maharashtra, Pandharpur. So every time I expect that question, that chairperson asked me, temples in India, especially in South India, have a lot of gold in them. So can the government take control over the gold or the resources of the temple? So my answer was, when you give answer, it should be, as I told, it should be logically explainable. So I told that constitutionally there is a provision in Article 25 that any temple administration of administrative, financial things of the temple can be undertaken by the government. So I told them first this constitutional provision, and then she asked me, okay, it is a constitutional provision, but will you support it? So I said, ma'am, I will support it. So she said, then people will stop giving donations to temple because government is taking everything. So I told him that what is the role of a temple in society? A role of temple in society is to alleviate the pain and suffering of people. If government is trying to use that resources for the education, health or rural development in the area, people will be more than happy. It will form a good ecosystem. So she said that she was satisfied with the answer. So this kind of answers are required in interview. Only yes, no. In previous interview, if this question was asked to me, I used to say yes, it should be taken. Why? I think it will be successful. This was my answer. So you have to explain things in interview. Currently the trend is like, they will not whatever you see in the mock interviews, it is completely a different story. In mock interviews they ask the question more precisely, what do you think about it, why so, why not. In the real interview they do not ask that much. I think the board is not really interested in interviewing or knowing your personality. You should exhibit your personality. That is the key. So any question you receive, try to give as much as possible. Let them cut you down, that is fine, but don't stop before they cut you down, I think. Yes, actually I belong from a well-to-do family, so there were a lot of distractions regarding means when you have some kind of resources in your family, there are certainly distractions. So I used to get isolated. The most important thing is, if a person has a clear goal and he has decided that I want to do this thing in this amount of time, then distractions doesn't really matter actually. Distractions, I would say, is a excuse you give to yourself and to the people around you. If you have a firm decision that I want to do this, distractions don't really distract you. Yes, regarding stress, I would like to tell everyone, I have went a lot through this thing during my schooling, my college, graduation. I was not really a sincere student. I never studied for more than 2 hours during my entire academics. I am an electronics and telecommunication engineering from MIT Pune. Every paper or every exam I used to study one night before only, as every engineer does here. So after entering this competitive examination field, I was very clear that I need to study for more than 8 hours. So when I started sitting for more than 8 hours, it was very difficult to me. Then, as I told you, that I used to study in isolation because group study is not my thing. So when I used to sit alone, I cleared prelims in first attempt. Then mains was there. There was immense pressure, and by then I have sat for around 4 to 5 months alone. So during mains, one night before mains, I collapsed. I got a panic attack because I was completely isolated. So after that 2 years, I was not able to focus. Every time I used to sit alone to study, I used to get very anxious. A kind of, you can say, it was a very phase of depression only. But after some time, I realized that I need to socialize. And when I decided to socialize, there was a lockdown and social distancing was announced. So 2021. So उसमें फिर 1-1.5 साल गया. इस वजह से ये इतना टाइम लगा है मुझे एग्ज़ाम क्लियर करने में. After that I became familiar with isolation. I started studying alone. But this exam, I'm very lucky. I consider myself very fortunate that I decided to write this exam. As all of you have decided to write this exam, if you spend 2, 3, 4, 5 hours, 5 years also, you will be completely a different person. You will be a person जिसको बाहर कंपटीशन में कोई मैच नहीं कर पाएगा. ये फील्ड छोड़ के अगर बाहर किसी भी फील्ड में जाओगे फिर तो आपके साथ कंपटीशन में कोई नहीं टिक पाएगा. आप एक कम्प्लीटली डिफरेंट पर्सन होगे. आपका इंटेलेक्ट बहुत एक्सपांड हो गया होगा. आप मेंटली बहुत स्ट्रांग हो गए होगे. तो कभी even if you get failure in this exam, no, I believe that there is no failure in this exam. If you write this exam for 3 to 4 years, then you have already succeeded in life. I think we'll end this session now. Okay, I think here hobby plays a very good role. Only socializing is not the real solution. In my case, that was the solution. If you have a good hobby, you will not feel that कि अकेले बैठना पड़ रहा है, अकेले पढ़ना पड़ रहा है. If you develop a hobby, no, it will also help you in personality test, because hobby is a important section from where you will receive questions in your personality test. So you can give genuine answers there. So try to develop a good hobby, either playing. I think the hobby should be active, not passive. Watching cricket is not a good hobby. Playing cricket is a good hobby. So you should be active in your hobbies. That will help you. Social media. Actually, I stopped using it for 3 to 4 years. Then when I got confidence in my studies that I have covered entire syllabus, then I started using it again. But give a specific time to it. Now the phones come with that setting that आपका कितना स्क्रीन टाइम है. वो स्क्रीन टाइम सेट कर लो एक आवर मैक्सिमम. उससे ज़्यादा हो गया तो रख दो फ़ोन. फिर किसी भी चीज़ डोंट गो टू एक्सट्रीम्स इन एनीथिंग. डू एवरीथिंग बट इन मॉडरेशन एंड आपके प्रेफरेंसेस के हिसाब से सब चीज़ें करो, बस लिमिट में करो. किसी चीज़ को कम्प्लीटली कट ऑफ करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. Actually, in personality test, they want to check that you should have knowledge about your graduation, because you have given 4 years to it. You should know at least basics about it. So read the basics. It doesn't take much time. You should realize one thing, that the people who are asking you questions, they are all generalists. They are not specialists. So they know only the peculiar things about your branch. So well-known things, well-known facts, well-known theorems, well-known principles, you should do it. And mostly the questions will be application based. What is going on currently in the world? So what is the latest technology in your branch? For example, you are a mechanical engineer, so currently EVs are there. So what role can a mechanical engineer play in EVs? These kind of questions you will get. So you have to think critically about the current events and link it to them. That will help. Plan to UPSC cycle. Okay. It actually depends upon what at what stage you have reached the previous year. But considering a fresher, I would tell, if you start by June, studying by June, or currently say if you start by May, so prelims is only 1.5 months now. You should give at least 2 to 3 months to prelims. In every time, in each year's timetable, give 3 months of time to prelims. Remaining 9 months, you should completely give it to mains. So this is the only cycle. There is no change. And while you are preparing for mains, give 50% time to optional and 50% time to other papers. And don't take essay paper lightly. This year I have received only 101 marks in essay paper. If that was 125 or 130, I would have been in top 400 or top 300 also. Essay paper I didn't take it much seriously, so it happened. Mains you should, I think every weekend you should give one full length test. When you begin studying, at least write one question every day. As the exam approaches, 2 to 3 months prior to exam, you should start giving one full length test every weekend. And don't wait until, don't think that I will complete the syllabus and then give tests, because you will never be able to complete the syllabus even after 6 years. So tests होंगे ही नहीं कभी फिर. तो whatever you have studied, write the test. And in real exam also, only 10 to 12 questions you will get which you will know, which you have studied. 7-8 questions will be, you will have just an idea and you have to make answer at that situation only. So study, even if you have studied less, start giving the tests. It helps in a different way. Actually in my case, I did not have any plan B, but this year I was planning that if I did not clear the exam, I will join IT company or in IT sector. The reason why I did not have a plan B, I will tell you, because I belong to SC category. I do not have a limit of attempts. So I was pretty sure that one day I will clear this exam. So how many attempts I was ready to give? As many attempts to clear the exam. But if you have limited attempts, you should definitely have a plan B, because this exam is really unpredictable. As I gave you my example, even if you have performed very well in a paper, there is a very good chance that you will receive less marks. So have a plan B, work on it. Don't give too much time to plan B. Just have something in your mind that if not this, I will do this. Okay, thank you.